Hello, Lenny here, this time not with an English language video, but a short message for teachers. This video is for teachers where I'll introduce a concept or a thought and teachers can explore and watch this video. At the end they can share their ideas and comment. So this time the video is about rules versus principles. So let's start. The session today is rules versus principles. Students have a lot of rules to follow, rules at home, rules in their school, rules in the classroom. So having too many rules, they want to break rules, at times just for the sake of fun. So we'll come back to rules and principles. First of all, we'll talk about freedom, because freedom is very important in the learning process. Freedom is very important for human beings. But when this freedom is misused and students start using freedom to hurt somebody, to abuse somebody, they're being destructive. So then a teacher may use some rules and principles for the said reason. But now what's the difference between rules and principles? Rules are always from outside. They are imposed. You cannot question them. And if you break or violate a rule, so that would be followed by a punishment. The consequence would be a punishment. So rules are very specific, like for example, do not write on the wall. When we tell a student do not write on the wall, it means don't write on the wall, but maybe some student would write on somebody's exercise notebook, they would write somewhere else. But the rule applies, do not write on the wall. On the contrary, principles are broader. They are broader, and when they are broader, so the person would internalize that principle. After internalizing, thinking about the principle, that person or the student would be motivated to apply that principle in any situation. The thought process is involved while using a principle. For instance, the principle here is do no harm or do not harm. So now if we take this principle versus that rule given before, that rule says do not write on the wall. But if we have a broader principle, do not harm, so it means do not write on the wall, do not write on anyone's notebook, do not write anyway, or do not harm the environment. So many things would come into being. So whenever a student would harm something, so then the student would always think, is he or she doing the right thing? So a principle actually demands careful thought before applying it, and you can apply to, I already said, to countless situations. Principles are usually few and they are simple. Principles, they give rise to problem solving. Children can solve problems, they critically think, they respect. Actually, this is from the heart. It trains the conscience. So now, what should we opt for? Rules or principles? I would say that both are important, but lesser rules. Rules we can give children when they are in the younger age group. So we give them a few rules that apply to their situations that they face. As children or students, they grow up, they get bigger, they start doing bigger things. So then we would not give them 101 rules. We would give them principles which would apply to different situations. So as the picture you can see here, rule is more, you see, with the stick, with an authority, punishment, but principle is from the heart. So when children grow bigger, we can have a few rules in the school or the class, but we would focus more on principles, and then they could use these principles in any situation, be it in the school, in the class, or in life. These principles would be with them throughout their life. So in short, I would say that a teacher, instead of being a dictator with a list of rules, imposing them on students, have lesser rules, And I would say the teacher should be more principled. And once the teacher is principled, she follows principles, she's the role model to the students, and the students can see that in action. Action speaks louder than words. So make a list of principles, share it with your students, and maybe you can use some case studies and see how students apply those principles to the case study. So thank you for watching this video, and explore, generate ideas, do comment on this video, share your ideas, and don't forget, make a list of 5 to 10 principles and share it with your students in your class. And from time to time you can discuss these principles in relationship to lessons, or even you can use case studies and ask the students which principle was violated or broken. So see you in my next video.